Guys, so I saw this requested a few times. Plan on doing a larger tutorial about it, but since this is really easy and quick to set up if you've got Glowforge Premium, I thought I would just show you guys real quick how to do it. So this is how to make those like wooden letter puzzles. So again, this is assuming you have Glowforge Premium. Comment and let me know if you want me to make a tutorial in Inkscape or some other free software. But for today, I'm just going to show you the Glowforge Premium version. So you're going to come up here and click on Shapes and then click on Rectangle. And then if you want to make these corners rounded, you're going to go over here on the side where it says Shape, and you're just going to choose some value in that rounded option. So I'll do 0.25, for example, and that's pretty good. Now I'll pull it over here to the side, and we'll want to make this a rectangle. So let's see. So we want to make sure when you come down here that there's this little lock area. Actually, let me do that a little slower. I'm going to select the shape, come down here to the side, and you may not see anything here. It may look like this. If it does, you're going to click on the ruler, and then you're going to go over to this little lock area here, and it says lock aspect ratio or unlock. So we want to unlock it. And then that should now let you kind of just drag it to whatever size you want. Now from there, we're just going to make two versions of this. And you see as we're dragging it, this rounded angle looks a little bit different. So let's put this back to 0.25 because it's adjusting it as we go. So let's say this is good. We're going to leave this one and then we're going to do copy and then do paste. That's because we want two of these. What we're going to do is we're going to put letter cutout on one, and the bottom one is just going to be plain. And what that's going to do is it's going to leave the cutouts for our little letter pieces. And this is going to be behind it so our cutouts don't fall through essentially. So now we've got our two here, and let's put those just a little bit closer. We want to save as much space as possible. And this is probably going to take two passes depending on what size rectangle you do. So just keep that in mind. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll be able to show you. All right, so we've got our two rectangles. Now we're going to add some text. So you'll click on the text tool. And I'll just real quickly write my name. So over here on the side, you're going to click on the text field and you're going to add in some letters. And now we've got that in there. You can, of course, change it to be whatever font you want. You'll probably want some sort of font that's a little boxier. So let's see what we've got. We'll click on Lato. On the side here, you can click on big and bold. And let's see. These would probably be pretty good. Well, that's actually kind of cute. So, let's see. We'll put these here. So we can go with this if you want. I would say though, looking at this, right, these letters are really close together and that's not going to work. And that's going to be different per font, really. So the easiest thing I have found to do if you're working in Inkscape Premium is just to kind of add the spacing in there this way. And there's other things you would do in Inkscape, for example, but this tends to work pretty well here. All right, so we've got this one. Actually, looking at this, this is probably a good thing to point out here. So you see these H here, you see that kind of that sliver that's in between that. That's going to be a challenge when you're actually working with this project, right? You don't want these really thin pieces. So let's go back to the fonts and we'll pick something else. How about, let's see how this one looks. That one's a lot better. So let's go with this one, right? Because now you've got a bit of a chunkier piece in between there. Now you could, for example, kind of keep them all together like this and then maybe put a shape on the side or just do the letters. It's really up to you. And then again, we're going to want to select it all and come over here to the top portion this time and make sure you're doing center just to make sure your text and everything is center in there. Now what this is going to do we'll switch the types and everything next, the uh, actions. But basically, the letters now are going to cut out of this layer here. And now you're going to want to select the letters over here and make 2 more copies of them. So let's select it, do copy, and then do paste. Pull that one down. And then you just want to make sure everything is going to be set to cut. So let's say we were doing a Baltic birch. You would just select Baltic birch over here, and then same thing for this one. You want to do cut and do Baltic birch. And that's it. All right, now one more quick thing I want to point out. So with your text, there is this area on the side here where it says spacing, and you can choose different spacing options. Um, so you could do that instead of adding the spaces in. So that's an option if you prefer that. I do personally like adding a manual space in each one, but that's totally up to you. So you're just going to glue these 2 pieces together, and then you're going to glue these 2 pieces together, essentially the letters together. And then you've got, of course, your project. So that's really all there is to it. Super easy. Let me know if you have any questions.